Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Casually Kicking It. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you give us a review on whatever platform you're listening to us on, either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, what's up, YouTube world? How you guys doing? And if you guys want some Casually Kicking It merchandise, oh, you can't see it, glare up there. Head over to Storefront Tier, type in the search engine, Casually Kicking It.
Search engine, yes.
Search engine. That's what I said, right? Didn't I say that?
It's the engine.
Search engine. Type in Casually Kicking It, and you'll see our shop pop up. And go ahead and get yourself a shirt, sweater. You know, the winter's coming soon. Get yourself a sweater. And we're still battling COVID, so if you want to get a nice little Casually Kicking It mask, we got the Casually Kicking It mask.
Yes.
Speaking of masks, that's a segue into a conversation I wanted to have, because Miss Jackie sent me a text message about a study that was done by the CDC that the media is not really posting up out there. And Jackie, I'll give you the floor on why you sent me that message and what your thoughts are on this CDC study of masks versus non-masks.
Well, I just find it interesting.
Stand for?
What does it stand for? Because the Center of Disease Control or Control of Disease.
Yes.
My point is the media is just so, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word.
Coerced?
Well, they don't show everything. So the CDC does studies. I take everything the FDA, CDC, all of them say with a grain of salt, but they do these studies, and then since it doesn't fit the media and the news narrative, you never hear about it. So this study was basically just saying that if you wear masks, the people that wore masks a lot actually had a higher risk of the people that didn't wear them. And I think it's due to you touching your face, due to the mask you wear. It also, in my opinion, weakens your immune system and your lungs. So I always just try to share like all sides, because I feel like all the media does is project fear and fear and fear, like just constant fear about COVID.
Mm.
So that's why I sent the article.
Well, I looked at the article or the video, and to me, I think me and Ed kind of came to the same conclusion that when they did the test, they did mostly folks that actually wore masks other than people that didn't have masks. You know what I mean? Like
the study was they had more people wearing masks. The study was there was more people wearing the mask than people non-wearing masks. So that the study group of people wearing masks was more than the study of people not wearing masks. So
Correct.
The percentages are going to be lower for non-mask wearers than mask wearers.
Well, and that's though because everybody nowadays, it's funny, like if you don't have a mask on, like you get looked at bad. Like most people are wearing masks because they're scared, and they just.
I wear a mask because, to be honest, I think it does do something with, like, especially with the mask I wear has a filter in between, and it's breathable. I can breathe through it. But the reason why I wear a mask is because there's a lot of things that are susceptible to, you not having a mask. To be honest, like, why would a doctor wear a mask during surgery? Why would, since the 1920s or so, they wore masks. So if it was so bad, or if it had an issue with it, why do they keep continuing wearing masks during, like when my father was in the hospital? Ed can agree with me on this one, is that they made people wear masks and like a gown so they can't make the person that has an infection or transmit anything to either party. You know what I mean? So if it didn't really do anything or didn't really, keep people from getting the disease or transmitting anything, I don't think they would bring it out like that, to be honest to me.
I mean,
That's
I do
my
understand that, but
Yeah.
that's like for a short period of time. It's not literally like every single day, 8, 12, 15 hours a day. And that's what they're trying to, like, I get when you're in that profession, like doctors have to do that. But I just, with the people touching the mask and fidgeting and then just, and in my opinion is like, it's weakening our immune system because we can't breathe right. And then we're breathing in our nasty breath. And I don't know, there's just balance to everything, I feel like. And it's just perpetuating fear. People now are just scared of everything. They're scared to look at people. They're scared to get sick. They're scared to, I feel like people are so scared to die, but love Halloween. I don't really get that because Halloween is the day of the day. I don't know.
We'll get to Halloween in a second because Halloween's coming up, so we'll do some Halloween.
I mean, bottom line is, however you feel, I feel like peace, I guess, like however you feel comfortable and like whatever brings you the most peace is what I feel like you have to do for yourself and your family. But everybody just listens to the media and the news, and like these people don't have your best interests. Like big pharma and doctors don't care about you. I'm sorry. Like some of them do. Like if you pray to get into the right hands of like good doctors, good nurses, yes, sometimes. But I feel like it's our responsibility to know our bodies, take care of ourselves, know our health. Like, I don't know. So I just feel like COVID is just really exposing how sick everybody is and how many underlying issues people really do have. That's really because where our immune systems have been weakened from years and years and years of like bad food, toxins, just so many things. And like basically that's why COVID's wreaking havoc on us.
Well, in order for me to bring it right back to this CDC study, my 2 cents in the study is I don't trust anything the CDC says as of right now because they've gone back on their words so many times on things that they've done. The same thing with the World Health Organization. I don't trust those guys. They've said things and then the next day gone back on that. My thought on mask wearing is the fact that these guys, they don't know, nobody knows exactly how this COVID works, right? Mm-hmm. No one knows how it works. I have a friend who is in the cardiology department per se in the hospital here in Central Florida, and I was asking him about it, and he said it's crazy. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter. Yes, older folks are more susceptible to it. And of course, yes, it will affect them worse, but it affects everybody. He said he's seen people in the 20s with this and catch it and they need oxygen at all times. People needing lung transplants now. Aside from that, though, to go back to the study, like you were saying, the mask touching, they vocalized that in the beginning of the whole pushing of the mask wearing. They said if you wear a mask, they suggest people wearing masks in order to prevent, like if you have it or if you don't know that you have it, say you're an asymptomatic, so you don't give it to someone else. It's basically protecting this other person from not transmitting it as easier. You could probably still transmit it, obviously, but it's just so that if you don't know you have it. The other thing that I had is that oh man, now that it slipped my mind. Oh, the touching of the face. They said if you wear a mask, don't touch your mask. You're not supposed to touch it or anything like that. But every time that I watch people wearing these masks, I see them, doing this all the time. Grabbing it, putting it up, grabbing it, putting it up above their nose, grabbing or bringing it down so they could breathe, touch it, bringing it down. And they've told since day one, they've said on the news or all these health officials that if you're going to wear a mask, don't touch this area, because what do? You touch this, you bring it down, you put it up, you bring it down, then you go touch your phone, you haven't washed your hands, you haven't done that, then you start touching your eyes, and that's how you'll get it. And you're like, well, how did I get it? I had my mask on the entire time. Well, you were touching your mask, bringing it up and down. Of course, that's how you're going to.
Well, I don't understand about people when they do wear the mask. They either put it like here, right there, which makes no sense because you can still breathe the germs in through the nose, and then some of them they use that sleeve that goes all the way up.
It has no filtration to it.
That's no filtration at all. So you're pretty much doing nothing.
But I think what Jackie was getting with the sorry, Tom, didn't mean to interrupt you. With the study is that there could be some truth to it. Non-mask wearing, you probably, but your thing was that why doesn't the media post that? And they always fearmonger the audience, and they just post the more horrific side of COVID. Well, it's because that's what gets people's attention rather than what's better for you.
Why isn't the media and doctors and people, why aren't they talking to people about nutrition? Why aren't they talking to people about immune systems? Why aren't they talking to people about how
they have? They're
really, I don't feel like they try to get to the root of the problem. They just kind of want to slap Band-Aids on it. And then the second thing.
Nobody wants to listen. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. And then the second thing was, honestly, like you said, the CDC, the WHO, all these people, it doesn't matter what any of them say, because it's for me personally, my destiny is already written. So guess what? If I was to die from COVID, that's how I was supposed to die. There's nothing that we can do or not do, because that's life. So are we just going to live the rest of our, you don't want to be, it's everything in balance. You don't want to be dumb and just go YOLO, like I was back in 20s, not caring. You obviously want to be smart about things, but being stressed out and fearful over it also causes cortisol in your body, which makes you sick. So it's really figuring out mentally how to deal with it properly, so that you don't make yourself sick from nerves, from stress. Stress will kill you.
Yes.
It goes back to depression and anxiety, what we talked, that's a form of, it's not good for us. So for them to be constantly having numbers on the screen of deaths and this and that, it's not to be mean if you've lost a loved one, because that my heart goes out to those people. I don't want to be insensitive, but we have to keep moving. We can't just dwell in these numbers. That there's nothing productive going to come from that.
Now, I have a question. If we didn't know about COVID, right? If no one knew about COVID, would they be looking at this like a serious case of the flu?
I believe so, because there's the numbers, it's a lot of numbers, but at the same time, it's not that many numbers. I was scrolling on cool facts, because I wanted to see if I could find any I wanted to share. And it said that 2.5 million people every year die from alcohol. 2.5 million yearly die from alcohol. That's, there's people die at high rates every single day, and they don't talk about death. So imagine if every day all they did was talk about death. That's what I'm saying. In the grand scheme of COVID numbers, they're not really that big. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, everyone has their own,
They say 99% of people, I can't remember what it was, 99.9%, I don't know if it was a certain age, actually live. I should probably just back up, because I don't even know the stat, but more people live than die from it. So you know, it's a really tricky subject because I do believe that it's real. Like, I'm not trying to say that, like, I do believe that it's real. I just believe that there's more to it. And I feel like they took this and ran with it, and it was more about control than it was about like our own good, like them really caring about the people and the good. It was more, I feel like, for them to try to control us. And because they took something that is real, it is real, and then like basically honed in on it. So but I can admit that, you know, it's been a blessing for some, it's been a curse for some. You got to find the beauty in it. But for me personally, I can admit that I think it's a little bit of a trigger for me at times, because for the last 5 years, I've had cancer and I've been on treatment, and I've really had to work very hard at not living in fear. So for this to like come, I work so hard at not living in fear. And so then when I see just like the whole world living in fear, I can admit that I think it triggers me. And I just want people like to not live in fear. And I have to kind of step back and have a little bit of grace and be like, you know, everybody has a right to feel how they want to feel, and it affects everybody differently. And I know some people that have had like beautiful situations come from this, and some people have had really hard times come from it. So that's something I've learned anyways.
That's good. I mean, I commend you in your battle that you did, and I understand the triggering, because I do think that there's there's things that you could take with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? And to be honest with me, is like, yes, I do think media blows things out of proportion, but they also, I think they're more, you know, back wishy-washy. So I don't believe what's out there. I just want to go and like you do, find the facts for myself, and do things like that. Because I don't believe the media. To be honest, I don't believe anything that's in the media, because it's either for one side or the other side, and it's, you know, it's politically driven, and I don't get involved in that crap. So,
well, you have anything else, Jackie?
I was just going to say, and I think we can all agree now too, like back in the day, the media was like on in the morning and on at night. Now it's literally 24/7 media. Like it never goes away. You can never get a break. No matter what outlet you have, it's like it's like headlines flashing. Yeah, it's just, you can never get away from it. And so, and I'm just so happy that we're from a different, you know, generation than, I can't imagine the young kids. Like, it never goes away. Like, dang.
Well, there we go. We're talking COVID for like what, the first 20 minutes of the show, 15 minutes of the show. Everyone's like, we've heard enough of this. All right, so we'll just move along to some Halloween. Now, Halloween is right around the corner. By the time you listen to the show, Halloween's probably coming up.
Which Jackie does not believe in Halloween or.
Well, I wanted to bring up, you know, let's talk about Halloween. We've had episodes before about Halloween, or like your favorite movie, your favorite candy, any favorite memories from Halloween. So if anybody wants to start, go ahead, you know.
Jackie.
Okay. I was like when I was young, my mom, I was like Bert and Ernie one year from Sesame Street. I was Mowgli from the Jungle Book. That was my favorite costume.
Really? That's you don't see anybody dressed up like that.
My mom,
that's unique.
She got me like these tan leggings and then a tan leotard, and I had like so it looked like I was naked, and I just had and I was probably like 7 or 8, and I had a black wig, and I carried Bear as stuffed animal. But I think for me, Halloween, like, I don't like being scared. I don't like dark things. Like, I don't like spooky things. I don't like feeling scared. So I think for me, that's why I don't really care about Halloween. And then I'm just like, it's a bunch of candy. I'm gonna get cavities, and I just, I don't know. I'm a what do you call it? Like a Grinch. I'm a boring person when it comes to Halloween.
I love
Tom?
Halloween. Halloween's my favorite.
Well, and let me say a stat I heard. It's interesting because Halloween is the second most like celebrated holiday after Christmas, and I heard the stat is because like it's not, people don't have to be with their family. Like people are just so they love Halloween because it's fun. They don't have to be with their family. Just I feel like people think they can go out, be a hot mess, do whatever the heck they want, dress up in anything they want to be. Like, who do you think likes it more, the kids or the adults?
Oh, I would say
Both.
the adults more, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
But no, to me, Halloween's awesome. Like I remember I dressed up like Michael Myers, and I went to my brother-in-law's Halloween party, and everybody that came in the door, what I did was I hid in the garage, but the door opened, so all you saw was my white mask. So every time they come through the door from the front door, they just they'll scream and everything. I love scaring people. I just love it, And I'm a glutton for punishment because I am totally scared of clowns. Totally scared of clowns. But I will watch any horror flick or anything that has to do with clowns because I don't know. I just like to be scared, I guess. So,
What's your favorite scary movie?
Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Myers, like down, like hands down, bro. I don't. I did Mike. I did. I
I
watched.
don't
Freddy
think I've
Krueger.
ever seen that. I'm telling you, like like Halloween is a dark holiday, and and only because it's spooky.
I gotta go.
Like,
My mom's calling me. Street lights are on.
yeah, like it was like, I don't know. I didn't
But
like being scared.
did you do your research, Jackie?
Yes, and
So
it started out like in the Celtic, is that how you say it? Like back in the Celtic days, and
a Catholic holiday.
no, it wasn't.
Saints. It was the same. It was the same holiday. Sorry.
Yeah, and then it became, and it was
All
like
Hallows Eve.
Yep, and then it came over. It was like in Europe, and then it came here. So it was really. So yeah, I was reading all about it. It was actually pretty interesting.
Just like Saint Nick came from over there, and the whole Saint Nick thing. Santa.
Which is that Christmas?
Santa.
No, Saint Nicholas actually came from, I think, Germany.
Yeah, it came from the other side. Yeah, to the States.
Yep.
Shoot, I like Halloween because of the candy, and then then you buy the bags of candy to hand out to the kids, but then you're sneaking one every time. You're like, oh, you want? Okay.
Yeah.
How many we got left?
2 for you, 2 for you, 3 for me.
I gotta make sure I keep. And my favorite Halloween candy is Twix. I love Twix.
Are you guys gonna dress up?
No, I don't ever dress up.
I want to, but people are telling me not to. Look at this. V for Vendetta.
That's as far as I'm gonna stop.
Is that No, go ahead, Tom.
That's V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta.
His favorite character, bro. Favorite character. He
Let
loves
me see that
movie.
mask again.
They use it. The hackers. They use it. The hackers called Anonymous. Now they use it as their thing.
Well, yeah, and also a lot of the marches that like a friend of mine does that. He's big. I don't even know what you'd call it. They wear those masks. They're like the truth seekers, like the freedom fighters.
Yeah.
They wear those masks.
If you ever get a chance, look up Guy Fawkes. And then you'll understand. It's the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November.
Okay.
Guy Fawkes Day. It's celebrated, I think, in England.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
But Tom, what were you gonna say that you wanted to dress up and what?
Oh, so my wife had this idea for us to dress up like the Addams Family.
That's cute.
Yeah, so I was gonna be Gomez. She was gonna be what's it called? What's her name?
The
Elvira?
mom.
Oh, Morticia.
No, I'm kidding.
Morticia. She was, and then like Lonnie could be Wednesday, and then Gabriel can be Pugsley or whatever his name is.
Is
And
that
then
the da-na-na-na? Da-na-na-na?
Yeah,
yep,
you got it.
Okay.
yep. So we were thinking about that, but then I have to go with my classics. So I'm actually gonna buy my Michael Myers mask and scare everybody.
I'm surprised you don't just keep one of those on hand.
The thing is, I did have one, and one time I scared my sister that was here, one of her friends and her friend's daughter. So they were in their room, my sister's room. I put the mask on, and I started banging on the door, and then they didn't know who it was because I snuck in like, I didn't sneak in the house, but I was very quiet getting into the house. So she thought they were there by themselves. So she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, somebody broke in the house. You got to get the baby and go out the window." And then I'm banging on the door, and the next thing you know, I got the just a little key to unlock the door, so I unlocked it, and I opened the door, and I was like, I had my mask on, and I. It's funny, and I kind of feel bad at the same time. Is that the little girl? She had pink pants on, and they turned brown really quick.
So she pooped herself?
Yeah, she did.
So
It
what,
was
did you like throw your mask away because of that?
How mean.
no. My mom grabbed my mask, and she hid it on me. And then I haven't found the mask ever since. And, my mom's got dementia now. So that's even worse because I can't even ask her, "Hey, Mom, where'd you put it?" Because she doesn't even remember.
That's
It was an epic scare, but I had to. The mask was definitely the victim there. So
um, well, my scary movie, I think I've mentioned it in the episodes past. It's called Event Horizon. That's one of the
oh
scariest
yeah,
movies I've seen.
I've never heard of that. What's it about?
you need to see it. Don't
Yeah.
tell me.
Look it up.
Event Horizon.
Is that an old movie?
It's an older movie. Has Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Here it goes.
It's good. It's good. But it was
You can watch it tonight, Jackie. Watch it tonight.
Mm-mm.
and speaking of Halloween, I don't know if you guys know, I was a huge fan of Ghost Adventures.
Oh yeah.
And one of the gentlemen from Ghost Adventures, Nick Groff, he's not part of the group anymore. He's got his own thing. He's Death Walker series. He's got G Crew podcast. He is going to be doing, I think it's on the 30th of Halloween, or on the 30th of October, Halloween, 30th.
Hallows Eve.
On the 30th, he's going to the Conjuring house, right? And back in the day, the Warrens, they did a seance on that day, the 30th.
Yep.
So he's going to be doing a seance on the same day, supposedly at the same time, and they're going to live stream it from the Conjuring house.
God.
Where is that at?
In Massachusetts, I think, or North Carolina, one of those.
So this house is pretty active. As a matter of fact, I've seen, Ghost Adventures, and a lot of these ghost people go there. But one thing that sold me on that house was there's a YouTuber that I follow. And let me get his name. His name is Josh.
Let's tell Jackie that The Conjuring is actually a true story.
Well, before you say, like, that's just it. Like, if you believe in good, you have to believe in evil. If you
of course,
like dark, and so that's just it. Like, I'm not trying to wake up these things. Like, I'm good. That's why I like the Ouija, all that stuff that stuff is real. So no, keep going. Like,
okay. So
no, what were you saying, Tom? That The Conjuring, something you were.
Oh, so it's based off of a true story. What happened was, I think there was a woman that hung herself,
Mm.
and she I think she possessed the land there, and this family moved in, and she was messing with them like really hardcore. And then there was an actual idol, which was I think one of the kids that were also haunting the house. It was like a carousel or something, like a toy, and they had these things where they where Ed was taking what were what's the couple that did the Warrens,
The Warrens.
they have a place in Connecticut, their house, in their basement is a museum of idols that were possessed. So they had different items that were possessed, and they put kind of like a protective, you know, so nothing can get out type thing. So that's what happened, and the family went in there and they started, they moved in. They think everything's cool and it's a wonderful old house, and no, sorry, everybody started, going crazy. That the kids were going nuts, and then the mom actually got possessed, and that's when the Warrens came in and started, trying to do an exorcism, pretty much.
So they're going to be doing a seance October 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 3-hour live event. It's going to be streamed. And so there's, like I was saying earlier, there's a YouTuber that I follow. His name is Exploring with Josh. That's his YouTube channel. And I watched him because he does a lot of videos of vlogging. He vlogs his adventures on different places that he goes to, specifically abandoned places. And I like that. Like, that's my forte. Like, I like seeing, like, there's an abandoned hospital. I want to go in there and I see it. And there's some beauty to it, to me personally. And to people, there's some people like that. And he likes that.
What's the beauty?
I don't know. There's something about it. For example, there's a place in Russia where Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And they have like this abandoned area that when that nuclear situation happened, everyone got up and just left. And everything in that town is just untouched from that day that they left. And to me, there's something spooky, something cool about it that I like, that to see things like how they were when these people left untouched. There's a theme park there that opened up 2 days prior and had to close down and never was like touched again. And you could see that theme park still sits there, and to me, the things that are rusted and old and it's very creepy. It intrigues me. Don't ask me why. It just does.
No, I get it when you say it like that. Like, yeah, you find it like really interesting, but it's like, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm saying 50 prayers, like whatever's over here, don't be coming on me. This junk better stay away from me, because what if like there's some weird, crazy spirits that hop on you, and now guess what? You got some weird thing with you. Like,
that's it. That's only if you're provoking and looking for it. I mean, you're looking at an abandoned place. You're not going into a haunted area looking for something haunted.
That's what happened to one of the ghost adventures, though. Remember, Ed?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. They brought it back to their house, and they ended up.
A lot of them won't talk about it.
Yeah, one had a divorce because of it.
I think a lot of them did.
Yeah.
And you guys think that like, is that?
No,
like, is that real? Like, what happened to these?
I agree.
Well, let me bring it back to Exploring with Josh. So he's going to be part of this seance. So he started now a YouTube channel, or on his YouTube channel, he started Exploring with Josh Dark. So now he's basically entering the ghost, the paranormal.
So can we
vlogging.
Can you Google what seance means? Like, just that word is spooky to me.
Go ahead and Google it while I'm explaining.
While you're
this.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead if you.
I don't know how to spell it though.
All right.
Wait, seance. Say.
Talk to the.
It's SEANCE. So, Exploring with Josh, which I watch, he's got now a haunted thing that he does. So he's going to be part of this group, and he's met Nick Groff. I would love to talk to both of them at some point. But anyways, before this seance thing happened, Josh got in contact with the the now current owners of the Conjuring house, and he got to go explore it at all day. And his stuff is raw. You can go on YouTube. That's where he is. YouTube Exploring with Josh. His stuff is raw. There's nothing produced on his side. He's just cutting the video on the computer, and everything he's recorded is raw. And let me tell you, man, they went into that house and they got activity right away. They were sitting there and they were about to go through a door that the guy had just closed, and the door just opened up by itself. No wind, no nothing. I don't know how a door opens up if it's been fully and they were they closed it and the guy pulled on it and everything and they let it go and the door opened right back up again. But then it didn't do it again. So then they got all kinds of activity out there. So that house is pretty active. So for anybody who's interested in it, I think it's a cool event. I know Jackie's probably not going to watch it.
I'll watch it.
I was going to check it out. Hopefully,
let me read to you what a seance is.
Go right ahead.
A meeting at which people attempt to make contact with the dead, especially through the agency of a medium. So
there you go.
Mm-hmm. And I don't
see, personally, I think this is pretty ballsy, so I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my personal opinion.
Because that place has been very, very active, but aggressively active ever since that happened. And I think it was in the 1900s it happened, Ed?
It's
something like that?
Long time ago.
Long time ago. But, Jackie, get a chance. You watch The Conjuring 2.
Well, no,
Annabelle,
that doesn't do any justice because that's Hollywoodized.
Annabelle, something, and I think the last one was Annabelle something, and the nun.
Well, hold on though. Exploring with Josh has 4.03 million followers. So something I find so interesting is
yes.
So many people clearly like to be scared, like to be spooked. I just find I wonder why so many people want that. Maybe because it's an adrenaline feeling, to be scared. The
same thing as people jumping off of planes. Why do people jump off planes?
I don't do that though. I don't think it's sane to be jumping off a perfectly good plane.
You understand what I'm saying? Some people jump off planes. Some people look for ghosts. They just find that adrenaline in different ways.
Yeah, but the fact that Halloween is the second holiday that people just love so much that they it's a Day of the Dead, right? That's what or I don't know, that's what it said. Maybe that's what there is a Day of the Dead, the
Day of the Dead is in May.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared.
I just want to see if these guys all heads pop off or something. Be like, I told you not to mess with that shit, man. Told you not to mess with that shit, man. But I'm watching it.
Are we still going to be trying to do a drive-through?
The drive-through thing?
Yeah.
Haunted thing? Oh, I think I saw someone posted video of them doing the drive-through thing. Doesn't look all that great.
Oh.
It's things are far away. You can see sets. So you're driving through and you see the sets of it. Yeah, so it's not like people are running to your car.
Jackie would love that.
I'm over here looking at this Exploring with Josh. I'm probably going to watch one when it's done and see
Love his videos. The one I suggest watching is the one where he goes to Chernobyl. He's gone there a couple times, but those are...
And he has a radiation meter with him.
Yeah.
And you can see some of the stuff is still...
So is there still active radiation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So if that's it for the show, I'm gonna end it with our fun facts because I forgot to do that last episode.
Oh yeah.
If you guys are good for this episode, you guys got anything else to add?
What's your favorite candy?
What's your favorite candy? Yeah, you didn't say your favorite candy.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really hard. I don't know.
Are you a savory or sour person?
Both. I like sweet and salty together. So like if I had to pick one, it would maybe be like a peanut M&M.
Payday. Payday.
Okay. I'll try a payday.
You never had a payday?
Well, it's been a long time. Like
It's
I like a
caramel
peanut
with peanuts. It's salt and
That's
sweet
it.
at the same time.
Okay.
Pretty basic.
Or I love like the ice cream Snicker bar.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
yeah.
so good.
No, what I like is those drumsticks.
Ooh,
Oh.
with the cones.
Yes.
And it's got like the chocolate inside
Yes,
the cone.
and
Ooh,
the
I
cone
should-
at the
I
bottom.
shouldn't have done that.
Yes.
Wait, don't do that, Jackie.
I
Don't
know,
do
that's
that.
what I said. I should have just done that.
No, nope. But they actually have the mini ones, so it's like that one shotter, like.
Well, to keep it kind of in the, I'll have one fun candy fact, and that's that.
All right, let's go.
McDonald's
Mhm.
at one point in time created a broccoli flavored bubble gum. Believe it or not.
What? McDonald's made a bubble gum?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
odd.
It is odd. And then another fun fact I have is Scotland has 424 or 421 words for the word snow.
Okay, so let's go. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. That's odd.
What are they?
They didn't say. They didn't go down the list.
Oh, yeah,
The
to
last-
at least get an example.
The last fun fact I have is that you guys know I've got it written down here. The Earl of Sandwich. You guys ever heard of
Yes.
that place?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Well,
it's at
what's his
Disney.
name?
It was at
John
Disney.
Montego, I think is the creator. He he lived in the 1700s. Reportedly, invented the sandwich so he wouldn't have to leave his gambling table. So that's where the sandwich came from.
That makes sense, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting.
If you go to Disney Springs or down in the Disney area, they have an Earl of Sandwich,
Yeah.
which is a very popular
which
spot
is
to
in
get
the
a sandwich.
marketplace area.
Marketplace, yeah. Here in
But
Central
you know
Florida.
what? I've also, to be honest, off of that, like a segue into that is that they have a sandwich in Jersey. Well, not really a sandwich. It's called a Jersey hot dog, which has a hot dog and it has a bread that's kind of like a Kaiser roll. And they
Mhm.
hollow it out. They put 2 hot dogs in. They put peppers and onions, and then they put potatoes in it. It's called an Italian dog. And
That sounds
they
good.
they created that on the same thing about they were actually having a poker night, and they didn't want to leave the table. So the mom of the guys made sandwiches for everybody, and that's how the Italian dog was made.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's-
Jersey.
I had one I wanted to say too, and I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Well, I'll buy you time.
But
So Halloween coming up. Let me know when you're ready.
Have you
Okay,
guys
so-
ever hit those rich neighborhoods to get the full candy bars?
Yeah, because the rich neighborhoods give you the actual candy bar rather than the bite size. You're like, man, fuck the fun
Yes.
size. I want the big thing.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just a random fact. The dot over the letter I is called a tittle. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
it
do
says-
not know that.
yeah. The tittle. And then the other thing was
Guess I wasn't paying attention in English class.
me either.
never
Is music is one of the few activities in life that utilizes the entire brain.
Oh, we talked about that the last episode, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say? I don't remember.
That music can invoke
But
a
you-
lot of
Oh yeah,
emotions
and just
A
how
lot of
good.
emotions.
how
and stuff like
powerful
that.
music is.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and then learning to read and write music, because that's a whole other language in itself. And then when you think about like drummers and how they're using like their feet, their hands, or like everything, it does. Music is amazing.
Yeah,
So
telling you. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Casually Kicking It. Don't forget to give us a review. And make sure you check out some of our older episodes like we were just mentioning right now. Go back and check out last week's episode, episode 159. We talked about music and how it affects people's emotions and things like that, and how powerful it is. So go check that out. So from us here at Casually Kicking It, See you next week.
Stay safe.
Peace.